Hello everyone. In this video, we will discuss about two important models of questions in case of the uniform acceleration motion in 1D. So these are called as the connected motion problems and consecutive motion problems. So what is it? We'll try to understand the concept first and then we'll look at the examples. So first we'll begin with the consecutive motion. Consecutive motion means if you look at the motion of an object, okay, for some time, whether we'll break the journey in terms of time, or we can even break the journey in terms of the displacement, okay. So for some part of the journey, it will have a particular type of motion in terms of parameters, and for the remaining part of the journey, right, it will have a different. We can divide the journey into whatever number of parts that it is having in terms of the variation. Just to give you some instance, right, maybe for one part of the journey the acceleration of the object or particle is 1 meter per second square, then for some time it might be going with uniform velocity, then it might have an acceleration of 2 meter per second square. So you get it. So for different parts of the journey the parameters of motion might be changing, but we are essentially looking at what the motion of an object, let us say starting from A and going to B, at different parts in between, right, the journey is changing its parameters of motion. So this is what we call as consecutive motion, means the object is in constant motion but the parameters are actually changing. In these type of problems, right, generally they will try to ask us some relation between these different parts of the journey to the overall journey, okay. Like we'll see, you know, what kind of questions can be asked. In fact, the same model of question, right, has even come in one of the previous year JEE mains, the consecutive motion type of questions, okay. So in consecutive motion of an object or particle, the thing that we need to have a clarity is that the motion is not breaking. It is not like, you know, once it comes to C, it is stopping and then taking a different course, not like that. It is in constant motion but the parameters are changing. So in the consecutive motion, right, whatever the final velocity in the previous portion of the journey will be the initial velocity in the subsequent portion, because it is not stopping the motion, right, it is going to continue the motion. Means whatever is the final velocity of the first part of journey will be equal to initial velocity of the second part. Final velocity of the second part will be initial velocity of the third part. Like whatever the number of parts they are dividing, the final velocity of the previous part will be equal to what? Initial velocity of the next part or the subsequent part. So this is how we are going to relate the different segments or different parts of the journey in case of the consecutive motion type of problems, okay. So what kind of problems can come, we'll just take a look at it, okay. An object starts from rest and moves with a constant acceleration of 3 meter per second square for 5 seconds. Means it is starting from rest. Means what is the initial velocity? The initial velocity will be equal to what? 0. Starting from rest means initial velocity is 0. For 5 seconds it is having an acceleration of how much? 3 meter per second square, and then it retards at a rate of 1 meter per second square. Means what? From then, retardation means what? The acceleration in opposite direction to the velocity. So we'll take it as what? Negative acceleration, right? So what is the acceleration in this case? We'll say minus 1 meter per second square till it comes to rest. Means the overall, whenever it is coming to rest, the overall final velocity is what? Again 0, because it is finally coming to rest. What is the total displacement of the journey? They're asking what is the total displacement of the journey. Here one thing we need to be clear, the object is not changing its direction of motion, it is continuing in the same direction, okay. So here overall displacement means what? We look at the first part, let us say the displacement is what? S1. We look at the second part, let us say the displacement is S2. We have to find overall displacement, means it is nothing but S1 plus S2, isn't it? So we have to find what is the value of this S1 plus S2. So let us see how we will get it. So first we will begin by looking at the first part of the journey. What do we know about this first part? We know the initial velocity, so u is what? 0. We know the time is what? 5 seconds. What else we know? We know the acceleration, what is it? 3 meter per second square. we need to find the displacement. What is the formula for the displacement? Ut plus half at square. We are in the uniform acceleration motion, right? So u is 0, half at square. This is the formula, right? U is anyway 0, so first term will be 0. Half into acceleration is what? 3. We are omitting the unit because anyway we know everything is in the same system of unit, which is the SI system. Half into a into t square, which is what? 5 square. So what is it totally? 5 square is 25. 25 into 3 is what? 75. 75 by 2. What is 75 by 2 means? It will be how much? 37.5 meter. 75 by 2 means what? 37.5 meter. So let us keep it as what? The S1. We'll just take it over there. Okay. Now we need to look at the second part of the journey. Second part of the journey. So we are done with the first part. So that's why I'm erasing it. Second part of the journey. What is the information we have about the second part of the journey? I'll use a different color marker so that we can see. Second part of the journey. This is the second part, right? In this, what we know the final velocity 0. We know the acceleration -1 meter per second square. That's it. We don't know the time of journey and nothing else. Or we know something, because this is what a case of consecutive motion, right? Which means what? The initial velocity of the second part is nothing but what? The final velocity of the first part. Remember, that is what is the relation between the consecutive parts. So whatever is the final velocity of the first part. So let us just first get what is the final velocity of the first part. What is the final velocity of the first part? U plus at, right? U is 0. So a into t, which means what? 3 into 5, that will be 15 meter per second. That is the final velocity of the first part. That is going to be the initial velocity of the second part. So whatever is the final velocity of the first part will be the initial velocity of the second part. Now in second part of the journey, we know the initial velocity, we know the final velocity, we know acceleration. We have to find what? Displacement S2. What is the formula? V square minus u square by 2a. Where do we get it from? We'll get it from the v square is equal to u square plus 2as formula, that equation of motion. Okay. So now look at it. V square means what? 0 square. U square means what? 15 square divided by 2 into a, which is what? Numerator is minus 225. 15 square is what? 225 by minus 2. So minus minus is cancelled. How much it is? It will be 112.5 meter. Okay, so that is the displacement. So S2 is what? 112.5 meter. S1 is what? 37.5. So what is the overall displacement? It is what? 37.5 plus 112.5. Just add both of them. So when you add both of them, what we'll get? 5 plus 5 is 0. We'll get what is it? 150 meters. What is the overall displacement of the journey? It will be what? 150 meter. Okay, so this is how we look at the consecutive motion. So the motion is not breaking. You have to understand, it is not like it is coming to rest and then starting a different motion. Consecutive motion means what? The motion is going to continue, which means the velocity of the previous part of journey, final velocity, will be equal to what? Initial velocity of the subsequent part. Like that, we'll have the questions on the consecutive motion. Okay. Next, we look at the connected motion. So from the very name itself, right? Connected. Connecting means what? You are connecting one thing to other. So connected motion means the motion of one object, let us say object A, will be connected to the motion of the other object. Connected means what? The connection may be in terms of the time of journey. The connection may be in terms of the displacement. So we can have different ways of connecting the motion of one object with other. Okay. The simple case in this is connecting motion of two objects. We can even have connecting motion of three objects, which gets a little bit complicated to analyze. But nevertheless, we can do those kind of questions also. So here we will talk about connecting motion of one object to another. So we can connect it in terms of, as I said, the time of journey as well as the displacement of the journey. We will have to look at some problems, then only we will understand how these connected motion problems can be framed. This is the basic idea of what we call as the connected motion. Let us look at some questions, then we will get a clarity. A police jeep is chasing culprit going on a motorbike. Okay. The motorbike crosses a turning at a speed of, what is the speed of the motorbike? 72 km per hour. The jeep follows it at a speed of 90 km per hour. What is the speed of the jeep? Police jeep is having a higher speed. What is it? 90 km per hour. Crossing the turning 10 seconds later than the bike. The police jeep is crossing the turning after how much time? 10 seconds late than the bike. So bike, the thief is going ahead. Assuming that they travel at constant speeds, means both of them are traveling at the constant speed, same speed. How far from the turning will the jeep catch the bike? Means we have a turning point. Somewhere on the road there is a turning point. Okay, so once the turning is over, so this bike fellow is crossing the turning first. What is the speed of that? He is on the bike, the motorbike, thief is on the motorbike. What is the speed? 72 km per hour. If you observe one thing carefully, right, the speeds are given in terms of km per hour, but the time, the delay, jeep is coming after how much time late? 10 seconds late. That is given in terms of seconds. So we have to make sure that we'll convert both of them into the same system of unit. So the motorbike speed is what? 72 km per hour. You know, how do we convert kilometer per hour into meter per second? We have seen this conversion in the units and dimension chapter. What is it? It will be what? 72. We have to multiply by what? 5 by 18. That will give us the value in terms of meter per second. 18 ones are 18 fours are. So what is it? 20 meter per second. That is the speed of the motorbike person. And what about the police jeep? It is 90 km per hour. Means what? 90 into 5 by 18. So in this case, 18 ones, 18 fives are 90. So what is it? 5 fives are 25. So what is the speed of the police jeep? It is what? 25 meter per second. Now look at it. So the motorbike person is going. Let us say he is going for a time t. From the turning point, he is traveling for a time t. So I'll just erase some part of it so that we can use this space to do the calculation. So we got the speeds converted in terms of what? In terms of the SI unit. So the speed of the motorbike is what? 20 meter per second. And what about the speed of the, so motorbike speed is what? So motorbike speed is what? It is 20 meter per second. Okay, and what is the police jeep speed? It is 25 meter per second. Let us keep them there. Now let us say the motorbike thief is traveling for a time t before he is caught. So he is basically caught by the jeep. Means what? They both will end up at the same location. That is what you mean by catching, right? When we say the police is able to catch the thief, they both will be at the same location. So here the time for the journey of the motorbike is what? T. That is what we are considering. Now what is the displacement? The displacement will be equal to what? It will be equal to how much? The speed displacement, or we can say distance also. Why? Because it is a 1D motion without changing direction. So what is it? Speed or velocity magnitude for the bike, 20 meter per second into t. So we are omitting the unit because everything is now perfectly in the SI system of unit. This is the displacement. It will be in terms of the SI unit. Now what about the police G? He is actually reaching this turning point 10 seconds late. Means for him the journey time will be how much? Only t minus 10 seconds, because he is coming 10 seconds late. So the motorbike thief, he is having a journey for time t, but police is coming 10 seconds late to the point, right? So the police journey will be only how much? T minus 10 seconds. In this t minus 10 seconds itself, the police is able to have the same distance covered. So this is for the thief on the motorbike, the displacement from the turning point. What about the police jeep displacement from the turning point? It will be what? The speed of that police jeep, 25 into what is the time of journey for the police jeep? Is coming 10 seconds late, means time of journey will be only t minus 10. Now both these displacements or the distance covered will be equal, right? From the turning point, both will be ending up at the same location, means distance covered or the displacement of that thief on the motorbike will be equal to the distance covered or the displacement of the police on the jeep. Okay, so which means we have to simply equate both of them. So what we are going to get, look at it. So 20 into t is equal to 25t minus 25 into 100 is what? 250. So we'll bring the 25t to the left side, it will become minus 20t minus 25t is what? Minus 5t is equal to minus 250. Minus minus is cancelled, 5 ones are 550s are, which means we are getting what is the time? The time of journey t for the motorbike thief is what? 50. Accordingly, the time of journey from that turning point, time of journey for the police jeep will be what? Only 50 minus 10, which will be 40 seconds. Okay, but here the question is not the time. What is the question? How far from the turning will the jeep catch the bike? Which means we have to find what is this distance covered. So what is it? Either we can get from this formula or this formula. So we'll just go with this first one. 20 into t. T is 50, means what? 20 into 50, that will be what? 1000. It is in terms of SI unit, means it will be what? Meter. So the police will be able to catch hold of the thief after how much distance from the turning point? 1000 meters from the turning point. Okay, so you see what is the connection between the two motions here? They are connected in terms of time of journey. The motorbike thief, time of journey is t. The police jeep, time of journey is what? T minus 10. They are connected in terms of time of journey, and they are also connected in terms of the displacement or distance covered, because from the turning point, when we say the police has to catch the thief, means what? They will end up at the same location. So from the turning point, the distance covered for both of them will be what? Same. Okay, so this is how we'll have these connected motion type of questions. We'll look at one more problem. A car traveling at 60 km per hour overtakes another car which is traveling at 40 km per hour. So the moment you see this kilometer per hour, right, we have to be a little bit careful. This is not the SI unit. Assuming each car to be 5 meter long, find the time taken during this overtake. See, generally when we say overtake, right, we have to be very careful understanding what do we mean by the concept of this overtake. So the first car which is traveling at how much speed? 60 km per hour, because the length of each car is what? 5 meters, right? Let us try to convert this kilometer per hour also into SI unit. What we'll do? We have to do into 5 by 18, right? Which means what? 6 3s are 18 and 6 tenths. What is it? 50 by 3. That is the speed of the first car. Second is what? 42. Means what is it? 42 into 5 by 18. Here also 6 3s are 6 7s are. How much it is? 35 by 3. We are not getting the proper integer number. We have the fraction. Let us keep it as it is. Now car A, which is going at how much? 50 by 3 meter per second. This is the speed in terms of the SI unit. A is going to overtake the second car which is traveling little slow. What is the speed of the second car? 35 by 3 meter per second. This is second car. Car B. What is the speed? 35 by 3 meter per second. Now what are we saying? Overtaking. You know, overtaking means what? When we'll say complete overtaking is happening, look at the head or the front portion of the car A. It is going to first align with the end portion of the car B. Okay, so the front portion of the car A will align with what? The end portion of the car B. That is when we will say that overtaking is starting. I'm sure you know we'll see a lot of times the overtaking. Now this is going to go ahead, and when we'll say the overtaking is complete, look at this. When we'll say the overtaking is complete, when the car A is able to fully move over the car B, which means the end portion of the car A will now be in alignment with the front portion of the car B. So that is when we'll say that complete overtaking has happened, isn't it? Because here we are having what? The cars, each of them is having a length of how much? 5 meter. Now we need to find out what is the time taken during this overtake. We have to find what is the time taken during this overtake. So if you observe carefully, right, what is happening? The car A must travel. Look at this. What is this distance? It is a 5 meter. What about this? Another 5 meter. This distance is the length of car B. This is what the length of car A. So in this overtaking time, whatever the time in which the overtaking is happening, the car A will be traveling how much extra distance? Car A will be traveling an extra distance of how much? 5 plus 5, 10 meter, which is nothing but the length of car A plus the length of car B. Sometimes, car A and car B can be having different lengths. But what is this? If you want to have the complete overtake, means that car A should be traveling how much distance extra? It should travel at extra distance of car A, whatever the length, plus car B length, which is what in this case both are 5 and 5. So totally what is it? 10 meters. You get it? So this is what is the concept of overtaking. Now in this journey of overtake, right, it's not like car B is at rest. Car B is also moving. So let us say T is the overtaking time. During this time, both car A is in motion, car B is also in motion. Both of them are basically in motion. Okay. Now we will look at what is the distance covered by the car A. What will be the distance covered by the car A? It will be what? The speed of the car A is 50/3 into T. That is the distance covered by the car A. What will be the distance covered by the car B? Its speed is 35/3 into T, because both of them are traveling for the same amount of time. If you subtract the distance traveled by car A and distance traveled by car B, which is what? Car A distance traveled minus car B distance traveled. That is what? The extra distance traveled by the car A. That is the 10 meter. So 50/3 into T minus 35/3 into T. So here we are connecting the motion of car A with motion of car B in terms of the extra distance covered formula. Both of them are having the same journey time. Okay. So look at this. Now, left hand side we'll have to simplify. Denominator is 3 common. 50 minus 35 is what? 15. So look at it. 15/3 into T is equal to 10. 3 ones are 3 5s are. 5T is equal to 10, means T is equal to what? 2. Everything is in the SI system. So time will be in what units? Seconds. So the overtaking is happening in how much time? 2 seconds time. Exactly 2 seconds time. We would see that the car A would have actually overtaken the car B. That's it. Okay. So this is about the connected motion in terms of overtaking type of problems. Okay. So you'll have to look at different models of questions, right? How are we approaching it? So you will see some examples based on the ideas you will get from the examples, right? When you are attempting a new question, you will be able to relate the ideas and then approach that new question. Okay. We'll go to the next example. This is also another example on the connected motion. A police inspector is in a jeep chasing a pickpocket on a straight road. So this is what? It's a straight road. The jeep is going at its maximum speed of 40 meters per second, uniform. So the jeep is going at its maximum speed. What is it? 40 meters per second. Luckily here we don't have to do any conversion. It is already in the SI system. The pickpocket rides on a motorcycle of a waiting friend. Obviously, there will be two people you would have seen, like, when there is, chain snatching people and all that. One fellow will be snatching the chain. Another fellow will be riding the bike. Okay. If it's not their day, means they will fall off because of some, whatever the scuffle that will happen. But otherwise, sometimes, the police also might be able to catch them even after the incident. Okay. But usually it will not be frequent, especially in the case of these chain snatching, etc. Okay. So we look at the question. What is it? The pickpocket rides on the motorcycle of a waiting friend when the ZB is at a distance of 350 meters away. So ZB is at a distance of what? 350 meters away from the pickpocket person. He is moving on the motorcycle. The motorcycle starts with a constant acceleration of 1 meter per second square. So waiting friend means what? The motorcycle is just starting. Initial velocity is what? 0. But it has got acceleration. Now what is the acceleration? 1 meter per second square. After how much time the police will catch the thief? After how much time the police will be able to catch the thief? So let us say T is the journey time. T is what? The journey time. So here also same concept. When do we say police is able to catch hold of the thief? When we say, let us say in this time, police and the thief, they are running at the same location. That is what we call as the catching. In this time, right, this is what the displacement of the thief. And what will be the displacement of the police jeep? This overall thing will be the displacement of the police jeep. Okay, so what we see, there is a relation between the displacements, thief displacement and the police jeep displacement. They have a relation. What is it? 350 plus the thief displacement is equal to what? The displacement of the police jeep. Both of them are having the journey for the same time. What is it? T. So let us look at what is the displacement of the thief. Thief is starting with the initial velocity 0. What is the formula we are going to use? S is equal to ut plus half at square. U is 0. Means it will be only what? Half into acceleration is what? 1 into the t square. So which is what? Half t square. Everything is in the SI system. Okay. So that's why we are omitting the units while calculating. What about the displacement of the police jeep? Police jeep is going with what? It's coming with a uniform speed or uniform velocity in straight line. Okay. So which means here what will be the displacement? Journey time is what? T. Means displacement will be equal to what? It will be 40 into t. There is no acceleration. Okay. Now what is the connection between both these motions? The thief displacement, which is half t square plus 350 will be equal to what? The displacement of the police jeep, which is 40t. Okay, so what is it? The displacement of the thief plus 350. The police jeep has to cover this much distance extra, then only he will be able to catch hold of the, so he has to travel whatever the displacement of the thief he has to cover. In addition to he has to cover this gap of 350. Okay, that is when he will be able to catch hold of the thief. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just erase some part of it so that we can do the calculation here. So we got the equation. Now all that we need to do is what? Because they're asking after how much time the police will catch the thief, means we have to find the t value only. We have to find the t value. What is the equation we have? Half t square plus 350 is equal to what? 40t. Now what we'll do is first we'll multiply both sides by 2. So t square plus 700 is equal to what? 80t. We'll bring the 80 to the left side. T square minus 80t plus 700 is equal to what? 0. This is the quadratic. We'll have to see if we can factorize it. See, we can factorize it as what? 70 into 10, because 70 10 is what? 700. Means the factors will be what? T minus 10 into t minus 70 is equal to 0. Means we'll get the values of time to be 2. Either t is equal to 10 or t is equal to 70. Either t is equal to 10 or t is equal to 70. So both are what? The mathematical solutions. Both are what? The mathematical solutions. Why are we getting 2 roots for the time? Because here it is not even like one of them is negative. Generally what happens? We'll get one of the values to be negative. So we'll say negative values of time is not possible. That is the reason why we'll go with just the positive value for the time. But in this case what is happening? Both the values of time are what? Positive. You know why? Because look at this. Police jeep is having uniform speed, but it is having a higher value of speed. The thief is starting with a velocity 0. So what happens is police jeep initially able to rush and come to catch the thief. They are meeting, basically catching means what? Meeting. When they are meeting, first time they will meet at t is equal to 10 seconds. Actually there the process is over, because this is not a game, right? So once the police is able to catch all the thief, means he'll be put in the handcuffs and then he'll be taken away, isn't it? But if you think of mathematically, right, the police jeep is having a speed of what? 40 meters per second constant. If we allow the motion to continue, then what you should keep in mind is the thief is having acceleration. So if you allow the motion to continue, what might happen is the police jeep will be able to go forward for some time, but the bike is having acceleration. Means what? Its velocity will keep increasing over a period of time. So the police jeep will go ahead, then the velocity of the motorbike will keep increasing over a period of time, and you know what is happening? At exactly t is equal to 70 seconds, then in this case the police jeep will be ahead. Actually the bike will be able to come and overtake the police jeep. Okay, practically that is not going to happen, right? If say for example if the police jeep is missing the thief and going, then what a clever thief will do? he will turn on the bike and then go in the opposite direction, isn't it? But theoretically, what is going to happen? The police jeep is going to cross over and then go ahead. But since the bike fellow is having acceleration, his velocity will keep increasing and he will be able to overtake the car again or the police jeep again at how much time? T is equal to 70 seconds. That is why we are getting two routes. But here, what is the question they are asking? After how much time the police will catch the thief? Means, first time they meet, that's when the police will catch the thief. That's it, right? So what is the answer we have to choose here? We have to choose the answer T is equal to 10 seconds. Okay, guys. So this is how we will have the connected motion problems. Okay, so these two are important models of problems. One is the consecutive motion of a single object, and second is what? Connected motion of two or three objects. Okay, we will see in the next video.